Craven Cottage is a football stadium in Fulham, West London, England, which has been the home of Fulham since 1896. The ground's capacity is 22,384. The record attendance is 49,335 for a game against Millwall in 1938. Next to Bishop's Park on the banks of River Thames, it was originally Royal Hunting Lodge and has a history dating back over 300 years. The stadium has also been used by the United States, Australia, Ireland and Canada men's national team and was formerly the home ground for rugby league club Fulham RLFC. The Hammersmith end is the northernmost stand in the ground, the closest to Hammersmith. The roofing was financed through the sales of Alan Mullery to Tottenham Spa Football Club. It is traditionally the home end where the more vocal Fulham fans sit, and many stands during the games at the back row of the stand. If Fulham wins the toss, they usually choose to play towards the Hammersmith end in the second half. The hardcore fans tend to sit or rather stand in the back half of the Hammersmith end. The Putney end is the southernmost stand in the ground, nearest to the Putney and the backing onto the Bishop's Park. This stand hosts home and away fans, separated by stewards, with away fans usually allocated block PF and P6. Flags of every nationality in Fulham's code were hung from the roofing, although they were removed after 2006-2007 season commenced, and there is now an electronic scoreboard in place. There is a plane tree in the corner by the river. The riverside was originally terracing that backed onto the Thames. It also featured large advertisement hoarding above the fans. In 1971 to 1972, an all-seater stand was built, originally known as the Riverside Stand. In the Fulham vs Burnley program on the 4th October 1977, it was revealed that the stand will be renamed the Eric Miller Stand, following the recent death of the former vice chairman. It is sometimes incorrect stated that, contrary to the above, the name of the stand was changed from the Eric Miller Stand to the Riverside Stand after the discovery of Miller's suicide. He had been under investigation for fraud and embezzlement. The name of the stand actually reverted to Riverside Stand in 1990s. The Riverside Stand backs onto the River Thames, and it is elevated above pitch level. Unlike the three other stands, it contains corporate hospitality seating. Alongside Fulham fans, Jimmy Hills once referred to the Riverside being a bit of London Palladium, as Block V and W, the middle section, are often filled with rich and famous, including often Alpha Yed. There were then several Harrods advertisement hoardings. Above the advertisement hoardings is the gantry for the press and cameras. Tickets in this area are often easiest to buy. Not surprisingly, they are also some of the more expensive. It has the Hammersmith end to its left and the Putney end to its right, and is opposite to John Haynes' stand. During the 1970s, Craven Cottage flooded with water flowing from the riverside. The stand houses the George Cohen restaurant, while on non-match day, there is a cottage cafe located near the cottage itself. The Riverside Cafe is also located nearby. And at Tommy's Trinders Championship in the 1960s, flags of all other teams in the Division 1 were proudly flown along the Thames. However, when Fulham were relegated in 1968, Trinders' decision not to change the flags as Fulham won't be in this division next season. True to Trinders' prophecy, Fulham were relegated again. Originally called the Stevenage Road Stand after the road it backs onto, John Haynes' stand is the oldest remaining football stand in Football League and professional football. Originally constructed in 1905 and is a Grade 2 listed building. The stand contains the ticket office and the club shop and features original Binet wooden seating. Following his death in 2005, the stand was renamed after former player John Haynes. The exterior facing the Stevenage Road has a brick facade and features the club's old emblem in the artwork. Decorative pillars shows the club's foundation date as 1880, though this is thought to be incorrect. Also, a special stone to commemorate the supporters' fundraising group Fulham 2000 and the cottagers' return to Craven Cottage was engraved on the facade. The family enclosures are located in two corners of the stand, one nearest to the Hammersmith end and one nearest to Putney's end. The front of the stand now contains plastic seats, but originally was a standing area. Children were often placed at the front of this enclosure, and the area had a distinctive white picket fence to keep fans off the pitch up until 1970s. The cottage pavilion dates back to 1905 along with John Haynes' stand. Beside being the changing room, the cottage, also known as the clubhouse, is traditionally used by players, families and friends who sit at the balcony to watch the game. In the past, a board meeting used to be held in the cottage as well. There is a large tapestry dropped from the cottage which says, "Still Believe." It encapsulates the famous moment when fans facing defeat against Hamburg SV in the Europa League semi-final roast the players with the chant, "Stand up if you still believe." In the three other corners of the ground, there are what have been described as large filing cabinets, which are corporate boxes on 3 levels. The club was born when a school teacher and a church warden formed a team for local boys at Fulham St Andrew's Church in 1879, although cricket initially took the priority. 7 years later, the team won their first silverware, the West London Amateur Cup, beating St Matthew's 2-1 in the final. Fulham Football Club is a professional football club based in Fulham, Greater London, England. The team competes in the Premier League, the top level of English football league system. They have played home games at Craven Cottage since 1896, other than 2 years period spent in Loftus Road, while Craven Cottage underwent redevelopment that were completed in 2004. If you're liking the story of Fulham Football Club, please like and subscribe.